Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video, I am talking about my values, and these are things that are important to me in life and which I won't compromise on, because I think it's important to have values that you kind of stand strong in and that you really believe in and that you stick to, okay? Because that gives you a sense of moral coherence. At least in my eyes, it does. And that is what I believe. Okay, so if you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. Now, I believe that having a strong set of moral values is really important to personal development and personal growth. And I know that this channel is kind of about like productivity and, you know, how to accomplish this goal, how to accomplish that goal. But I think we also need to consider ourselves and our own moral development as individuals, okay? Because you can achieve all the goals in the world. You could become mega rich, mega successful. You could be the most productive person on the entire planet. But if you are not a good person, if you don't seek to make the world a better place, then you are gonna end up like a soulless billionaire who everybody hates, okay? I do not say that to scare you, but I'm just saying that it's really important to have like a set of values that you really resonate with and that you want to stick to, okay? It's important to have a sense of moral coherence. And straight off the bat, I will say that I am not religious, okay? I am not religious. And I think that if you need religion to be a good person, then you might want to unpack that, because I think that everyone should have moral values, like regardless of whether they're religious or not. And I have nothing against religion, obviously. I will talk about that later in the video as well. But yes, from a purely like agnostic / atheist perspective, I consider myself an agnostic, I think, rather than atheist. But from a non-religious perspective, it is really important for me to have values. And the first one that I want to talk about is independence, okay? Independence is one of the most important things to me, and it always has been. This is to do with financial independence, physical independence, and situational independence, as well as intellectual and emotional independence. So I consider this to be a really important part of functioning as an adult, and I owe it both to myself and to society to be a self-sufficient and functional adult. Now, I'm not saying you should never ask for help. Obviously, you should ask for help and we should all help each other, but to aspire to be an independent adult and to pursue that is a source of great personal pride for me, and it's something that I feel is really, really valuable. Okay, so independence in all forms is one of my core values, and it's something that I have pursued since I was kind of aware what it was, okay? All right, number 2, feminism and bodily autonomy, okay? I am a feminist, and if you don't like that, this might not be the channel for you. I think sometimes when I do these videos, I kind of lose subscribers, or people come after me in the comments and argue with me, and that is the best thing that could possibly happen from this video, because, you know, I really want people to follow my channel who are kind of like aligned with the like lifestyle and the values that I am here to talk about, okay? And you know what? There is a niche on YouTube for everyone, okay? So I am not saying that you have to watch me, but I'm just saying that these are the things I believe in, and I would love to meet other people who also believe in these things. So I 100% am behind the feminist movement and the movement for like people's and particularly women's, obviously everyone's, but like historically women have been really oppressed in this category, bodily autonomy, okay? So I will always believe in a woman's right to choose what she does with her body, and nobody is going to be able to convince me otherwise, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is LGBTQ plus rights. So this is an old video actually, but it's still up on the channel. I came out as bisexual in 2021, late 2021, although I wasn't out to very many people at first. And I think I published that video on my channel in 2022 or 3. So it took me a little while to be comfortable like sharing that side of me with the world, but I am openly queer now, so I am a big supporter. To be fair, to begin with, I thought, oh, I'm just an ally, and then I was like, hang on a minute. So it was kind of a gradual process of being like, oh, I am actually bisexual. So LGBTQ plus rights are something that I will always support on this channel, and I am always like in favor of like supporting that. I worded that very badly. I feel like I'm going in circles here. Basically, if you are gay or any part of like the queer spectrum, then this channel is a safe space for you, and I will always want to hear your like thoughts, and I just want to say me too. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is being child-free. So I've talked about this in another video. I made a whole video about being child-free. Again, kind of an old video, but it still like kind of holds true. I also made a video about like not wanting to get married. So those two videos, if you want to like dive into my kind of like thinking around that, I've kind of laid it all out there in those videos for you as well. So go and check those out if you're interested. But yes, I am child-free. I don't want to have children for many reasons, and you can go and check those videos out if you like. But I'm looking at this video script now, and I've seen that I've actually written child-free down in 2 places, because apparently it's that important to me, and I don't want to be convinced. Like, I am not gonna have people in the comments being like, you should have kids. I will delete your comment, okay? This is about my values, and I'm not here to be convinced. Like, this is a statement, like it's not a debate. Okay. Let's talk about religion. I am not religious. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm not religious. For those of you who don't know, I was actually raised Catholic, but I no longer go to church, and I don't really identify with those values anymore. I identify as agnostic in the sense that I don't know whether there's a God or not. There might be, there might not be, who knows? But I certainly don't identify with any one religion. I don't identify with any one particular like church system or whatever, and I get my sense of like spirituality from other sources like nature, music, etc, etc. Okay, so I'm not religious, and absolutely categorically do not want to be converted. I did that whole thing of being religious for the first 20 years of my life. I have more than had enough of it, okay? But I have no problem with anyone else being religious. And if you guys are on my channel and you're like, oh, I'm religious, but do you hate me? Absolutely not. Okay, let me say this straight away, that every single person's religious beliefs are 100% their business, okay? So whatever you believe, you are more than welcome to like practice that in accordance with, like, I'm not going to try and stop you. I'm not going to be like, you shouldn't believe in God because I don't necessarily believe in God, okay? I that would be so rude, and it would be as rude as someone telling me that I should believe in God, okay? So nobody should be telling anyone else what to do. I have no problem with anyone being religious as long as they don't try to use it to like put pressure on anyone or make anyone's lives worse, okay? Religion should make people's lives better, and spirituality should make people's lives better, and it should be a force for good, and it should never be used in a harmful or coercive way. So as long as like religion is being used as a force for good and in a non-pressuring manner, I am all for it. Like, I don't subscribe to it, but I'm all for it. And I would have a lot in common with religious people who seek the common good, because I also seek the common good, okay? And I think at the end of the day, a good person will seek to make the world a better place, whether they do that through religion or through development of their own set of moral values, okay? So I think we do have a lot in common there. All right, the next thing that I believe in is democracy, obviously. But I mean, I feel like maybe that has to be said nowadays. I don't know, does it? I've always been very interested in politics, and I have voted in every single election I was eligible for. I remember voting for the first time in a few weeks after my 18th birthday, actually, because the general election was called at a very convenient time for me. And I just turned 18, I was just eligible to vote, and it was the most exciting thing ever. And I might sound like a bit of a nerd or a bit lame for having that opinion, but I don't really care, because being able to contribute to democracy with all its flaws was incredibly empowering for me. And you know, people have suffered and fought for my right to vote, so always I'm going to exercise it. That sentence was not in any particular order. I'm always going to exercise my right to vote because I know how much other people gave up for it, okay? So I believe hugely in democracy and will always kind of exercise my democratic prerogative and rights to the full extent of my capabilities. Right, the next thing that I very strongly believe is that mental health matters. Now, you probably are aware of this because I produce a lot of mental health content on this channel. It's a huge thing for me. I have lived with chronic anxiety and depression for over 10 years now, and it is something that affects me every day. So whenever I hear someone say something negative about like, oh, you know, you should just toughen up, I always get really pissed off at that, because you never know what someone is going through, okay? So I will never say to anyone on like, if you come like in my comments and say like, I'm depressed, I'm never going to just tell you toughen up, okay? That is so toxic, and I want this to be a really safe sort of space for people who are struggling with their mental health, because I've been there, and to some extent, like, I still like go through that. So like, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be hospitalized for your mental health. I know what it's like to go to therapy for like 5 years. I know what it's like to have like this sort of dark cloud of depression hanging over you all the time. I know what it's like to go through a panic attack. I know what it's like to get on medication. Okay, so I know a lot about like mental health, and it matters so much that we support each other, and it costs nothing to be kind to someone who's going through a difficult mental health time. Okay, and I'm not saying that you should like let anything like toxic ruin your life. Obviously it should always be in the context of trying to seek professional help, but mental health absolutely matters, and anyone who doesn't believe that is not someone I would agree with. Did I phrase that correctly? I wouldn't agree with anyone who said that it doesn't matter. Okay, another thing that I really believe is that you always need to be willing to admit, apologize, and change your behavior when you are wrong. This kind of tunes into like good social dynamics, into cultivating a sense of humility. Okay, so when I'm wrong and like I'm presented with evidence that I'm wrong, then I will always apologize and try and change my behavior. Okay, because I have been in too many situations where I was on the other end of that, and the other person didn't care enough about me to apologize or to change their behavior, and it really sucks. Okay, so always be willing to learn that you're wrong and to change your stance, because you know, we're all human and we make mistakes, and you got to acknowledge that. All right, something else that I believe, and this one's maybe funny, some people are genuinely horrible. Okay, I guess that wasn't, I know I've been very positive up to this point, but in my experience, some people are genuinely horrible, and it is okay not to spend time with them. I'm giving you permission. You don't have to suffer just because you think you should keep someone in your life. If they are toxic to you and you have tried to like mend that relationship, and believe me, like I've been in that situation where I've tried to mend a relationship and it did not work, okay? You are allowed to just step away from that, okay? It is absolutely fine. Some people are genuinely psychopathic, and I do not use that word lightly, and I am aware of what it means, okay? So yeah, I'm aware that psychopathy is not an official diagnosis. Antisocial personality disorder, I believe ASPD is the official diagnosis, and that encompasses what we understand as sociopathy and psychopathy, but some people are genuinely horrible, and it's okay not to spend time with them. Something else that I believe is that being angry can actually protect you, and your emotions are morally neutral. What do I mean by this? Anger is often portrayed as a negative thing, and if you use it to hurt other people, it absolutely can be. But being angry in itself, and especially angry at injustice, can be an immensely positive and uplifting and empowering thing, okay? And my anger has saved me many times, okay? Learning how to be angry when I was mistreated and to stand up for myself has been incredibly empowering, and has got me out of some very, very bad situations, okay? And you're not a bad person because you feel angry. That's what I mean about your emotions are morally neutral. Your emotions are just emotions. Being sad doesn't make you a bad person. Being angry doesn't make you a bad person. Being happy doesn't make you a good person, okay? All of your emotions are just morally neutral. Your emotions are just emotions. You are a human being. It's okay. All right, planning is very important to me, and it always will be, but I'm also learning to enjoy spontaneity in small doses. That's kind of self-explanatory. I'm trying to like explore more balance, I guess. And finally, caring for the environment. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I am huge into caring the environment. Okay, let's try that sentence again. I am big into caring for the environment, and you know, I'm not always perfect, and sometimes I will do things that are maybe not the most like optimized from that perspective, but I'm always trying to like improve my like environmental impact. So I run my home on 100% green energy. I'm trying to develop my career in the environmental sector, and you know, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's really important that I care for the environment, and if I was around someone who didn't like have that respect for the environment, then I don't think we could be friends for very long, because if someone, you know, is disrespecting the kind of climate that we live in, then that's just, it's bad, like, it's bad citizenship. It really is, because it shows a disregard for the rest of humanity, because we've all got to live here too, okay? So caring for the environment is really kind of fundamental. It's something that I look for in my friends, in like dating partners, and in just people I'm around in general. Okay, so this is a sort of very long and kind of random list of my values, but I hope some of these resonated with you. If some of these made you angry, you might want to question why. And yeah, I do not apologize for any of my values, and I think that you should not apologize for any of your values either. Like, values, like I said, are a very individual thing, and you shouldn't necessarily be trying to impose any of your values on anyone else. That's not what this video is about. This video is about kind of me talking about what kind of a person I am. This is kind of a get to know me video, almost. And also, if you are like questioning whether this channel is a safe space for you, now you know, okay? Now, I try and make this channel a safe space for everyone as much as possible, but like, I will never tolerate any kind of bigotry in the comments or anything like that, okay? Like, I once had this sort of really random, vague comment on one of my productivity videos, and when I queried it, the person who was writing it turned out to be extremely openly racist, and I was just so shocked because Anyway, I reported them, I banned them and blocked them and deleted the comment, obviously. But it was it just came out of left field for me, and I was just like, maybe I need to make a video about my values so that people are aware that, you know, this is really a safe space for like mental health, and, you know, that I really want to make this like a safe and supportive space for people, okay? And that we do not tolerate any kind of like discrimination or bigotry on this channel. Absolutely not, okay? So yeah, I guess that was kind of like a wake-up moment for me. I was like, have I not been clear enough about the kind of environment that this channel is and the kind of community that I'm trying to build? So this video is all about me being really clear about the kind of community that I'm trying to build, and I hope a lot of you resonate with this. Like, I don't want this to be a super like scary or difficult discussion. I want this to be a source of joy and affirmation for you, because if you resonate with a lot of these, and I'm sure that a lot of you will, then that just affirms that I am building the community that I really want to build. And I'm so excited to have you all here and to meet like-minded people through this channel. And I think that you guys are all wonderful and supportive, and I hope that this video has helped to clarify some stuff for you. All right, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and always try and be a better person. Okay, that's it. Bye.